Hi, I'm Shane Williamson from Williamson Lawyers, Construction, Property, Strata Lawyers, located in Sydney, Australia. If you'd like to learn more about construction law or strata law, or if you have any questions you'd like to ask me, please contact me by my website, williamsonlawyers.com.au. Today, I'm going to be answering some important questions in relation to building defects. Most important questions are: when do the statutory warranties in the Home Building Act expire, and what you need to do before those warranties expire? Why is this important? This is important because once those warranties expire, if you don't commence legal proceedings before they expire, you lose your recovery rights under the Home Building Act. And they are the majority or the main recovery rights that you have for building defects in New South Wales. Now, when do the warranties start and when do they end? There are two types of warranties, well, two categories of warranties. They apply to non-major defects and they apply to major defects. The warranty period for non-major defects is 2 years, and the warranty period for major defects is 6 years. Now, the difference between a major defect and a non-major defect is set out in the legislation, but generally speaking, a major defect includes waterproofing defects, structural defects, fire safety defects, and non-compliant cladding. Now, let's talk about when the warranties commence. There are two separate tests for when the warranties commence. There's a test that applies to residential strata buildings, and there's a different test that applies to all other residential buildings. For the purpose of residential strata buildings, the warranties start on completion of the work, and that is defined as the date of issue of the first occupation certificate which authorises the use of the building. Now, that's very important. That means that if you are contemplating a building defects claim, you need to obtain copies of all of the occupation certificates for the building, and you need to calculate when the 2-year and 6-year warranty periods expire based upon those documents, or that document. In relation to residential buildings that are not a strata building, there is a different test for completion. The test is that the work is complete and therefore the warranties begin when the work reached the stage of practical completion as provided for in the building contract. Now, sometimes this will be easy to work out because there will be a notice of practical completion, or there will be correspondence from the builder confirming when practical completion was achieved. But in some cases, such correspondence won't be available, and the legislation provides what you need to consider in those circumstances. If you're in the circumstances where you need to calculate or you need to assess the date of practical completion, it's very important for you to obtain legal advice, because this can be a very complicated test to work out. So what do you need to do before the warranty periods expire? Well, basically you need to commence legal proceedings. The only way that you can preserve your rights for building defects is to commence legal proceedings either in the New South Wales Civil and Administrative Tribunal or the local district or Supreme Court of New South Wales in relation to the defects. You also need to ensure that you commence the proceedings against the right companies or people. So that means that you need to have identified who is the builder responsible for the work, and you also need to have identified who the developer is in relation to the work. So once you have that information available, that is the completion of the work, and based upon the completion of the work when the warranty periods expire, and once you know the identity of the builder and the developer, you're then in a position where you can assess when you need to commence legal proceedings by, and you need to commence those proceedings before the warranties expire in order to preserve your rights. Just a reminder that anything I discussed in my video today is not intended to be legal advice or professional advice. The issues that I have discussed are very complicated, and you should obtain advice from a solicitor in relation to your case as soon as possible if you believe that these issues apply to you. Once again, if you liked my video, please hit the like button. If you wish to see more of my videos in the future in relation to construction law or strata law, please subscribe to my channel, and please check out my website williamsonlawyers.com.au.